Hey guys, so welcome back to the candle channel. So today on Thursday is start of the Bath & Body Works $15.95 candle sale, and for that I want to just come on here and do a quick rundown of the candles I've already purchased for the season and do mini post-burn reviews on all of those just as a follow-up, talk about what my favorites were, what my least favorites were, as well as some of the online exclusive, just so you guys can get a little bit more informed reading on some of these candles in case you were interested in shopping the sale. Obviously $15.95 isn't the best deal, 10 off is a little bit better than that, and obviously buy one get one or buy two get two is better than that too, but if you have a 20% off coupon then you might still possibly be shopping it. So just wanted to go on here and do a quick rundown in case you were interested in any of these candles. So let's get right into it. So yeah, I'll do my favorites first. I have burned all of these at least 3 times, and then I'll do a least favorite, basically not recommended, and then I'll talk about the rest of the candles that I have burned, in case you didn't have time to watch any of the full in-depth reviews and you just wanted it in one shot. So probably my favorite, even though it's a returning one, is actually Marshmallow Fireside in the Luminary collection that you see right here. These actually don't really light up as well as you would think for a candle that's actually even specifically called Scented Luminary Candle. It just has a little bit of a glow through the plastic right there, but it's nowhere near as luminary as that original Blueberry Pie. But this one was toasted marshmallow, smoldering rose, and fire roasted vanilla. The reason I'm loving this so much is because in past seasons they really did a number on it, and it used to be really strong and really good back when it first came out, and then somewhere along the way in the past few years they've given it either dark colored wax and then wicks that get really puny, and so it would become really unscented, and I just simply can't smell it because it duds out, and I've had to return at least 2 of them just because it won't perform at all. This year I was very excited because it had white wax and it had thin core wicks, and I'm glad to report that it's kind of back to form. So you can see here I did burn it. They are drifting a little bit. Maybe the wicks were just placed that way to begin with, but in any case it's been burning beautifully. It's still not as strong as it was originally, but I can still get a medium from it, and it's not dudding out and it's pulling out great, so I'm really enjoying that. If you never smell Marshmallow Fireside, it's a staple, but you get that ooey gooey, almost powdery texture of the marshmallow, jet puff marshmallows in a bag. You can even smell them starting to roast and melt and it becoming gooey and vanilla-y. Oh my god, it's delicious. It makes it with just the perfect amount of a roasty fireside component to it. If you mix the chocolate candle with this, it would be the perfect s'mores fragrance. It's absolutely divine. It's so cozy and warm. It's nice because it can still be a summertime, s'mores beach bonfire kind of moment, but it's still very, very, very nice into the October, November cooler months. This one's great, and when it performs well, it's definitely a repurchase. This one was just a medium. I could definitely smell it totally present in a smaller bedroom, a little bit lighter in a open concept area, but still much better than the past 2 or 3 Marshmallow Firesides I've had, and it hasn't dudded out either, so just simply excellent. I'm just loving this fragrance to pieces again, especially because it's performing well. My next favorite is actually another, I guess, staple at this point. It is Pumpkin Clove. If you're looking for the most quintessential pumpkin spice, Michael's Craft Store experience, this is totally it. Clove buds, ground cinnamon, a pinch of nutmeg, and fresh pumpkin. You get a juicy, juicy pumpkin in there mixed with cinnamon. It's kind of like the cinnamon that you get from the cinnamon broomsticks or the cinnamon pine cones that you get at craft stores, mixed with clove, and then, yes, that juicy pumpkin. And it's just the most quintessential, fall time experience. If this doesn't get you in the mood for fall, I don't know what will. This one's really good too. And the other issue with Pumpkin Clove is, similarly to Marshmallow Fireside, in past years, it would have dark, deep orange wax, and it would have the little, the curling wicks, the flat curling wicks, and they would always dead out. It would become unscented by the mid-range point, and I was just oh my gosh, why can't I get any satisfaction out of this? This one had white wax and thick rope-like wicks, and so far it's performing better than those. And that's what that looks like. They're not super long, but they're still doing the trick. I do have to say, on the very last burn that I had, which would have been either a 5th or a 6th burn, it has started to smell a little bit toasty or roasty and kind of burnt. Not as horrible as some of their other more burnt candles, but it has slightly become less sweet from what it was originally, and there's a slightly burnt or scorched component to it. As you can see, the wax has turned a little bit more orange or cream colored, but it's not too terrible, but I'm at least being able to enjoy more so than the previous Pumpkin Cloves, which would become just unscented and dud out. So this one's still burning, so at least there's that. So Pumpkin Clove, this one I would say either a medium to a medium plus. So that was Pumpkin Clove right there. The next one I've been really enjoying, even though this has a faulty lid on it, it's not a fishy lid, but it is a dirty lid. So it smells dirty, and that's pumpkin vanilla creme right here, and this used to be pumpkin pie. And this is creamy pumpkin, vanilla creme, fresh ground nutmeg, and graham cracker crust. This one is also doing better than some of my other ones because it has white wax and it has the coral wicks on it, and so it's not drowning as of yet. This one I've only burned 3 times, so I can't say whether or not it's going to dud out at the mid-range point, but that is what that looks like. This one's just... oh my god, the quintessential beautiful like pumpkin gourmand fragrance of your dreams. It really does smell like a pumpkin pie. You get that nutmeg and cinnamon, ginger, like pumpkin pie, like ooey gooey whipped filling with a little bit of like a creamy whipped cream component to it, mixed with a buttery graham cracker crust. It's like everything you want in a pumpkin pie candle. This is also perfect to burn with Marshmallow Fireside. If you enjoy the Homework Smoked Pumpkin Woods fragrance, if you combine pumpkin vanilla creme and Marshmallow Fireside together, it's very, very, very similar to that fragrance, and I just love it. It's like the perfect October-November fragrance, but of course I'm getting a head start on fall, so I'm enjoying it right now. But yeah, this is just excellent for a pumpkin pie fragrance. I would say this one is a good medium to medium plus as well. So that's pumpkin vanilla creme right there. And those are my 3 favorites, even though they were all returning. There just hasn't been a lot of like exciting newness going on right now, so it's just sort of you go back to the tried and true. My least favorite would have to be Honey Wildflower. Not that the fragrance is unpleasant by any means, the packaging is gorgeous, but it was just very, very, very weak. This was just very light. I could smell it maybe a little bit on the first 2 burns, but then after that, it's kind of like the fragrance just sort of burned away. I've never been able to smell it at all in my open concept area, and I can only smell it minimally in a bedroom. This is just like a Cocoa Shea honey plus Cocoa Shea coconut type of fragrance. It's like a very creamy honey fragrance with just a little bit of floral in there. The body hair is also kind of underwhelming, so I personally wouldn't recommend this one, and this one's even one I would contemplate actually returning just because the performance is so unsatisfactory on it, and it also so it's like crazy. So Honey Wildflower was probably my least favorite right there. And then everything else just kind of falls in between. So we'll just do a quick rundown of the rest of the candles. The White Barn Core one, I'm still really enjoying this one, but I just haven't burned it quite as much as the others, and that's White Pumpkin right here. This one's about a medium throw. Ginger to white pumpkin, caramel glaze, and warm blended spices. This is similar to Pumpkin Clove, but a little bit more of a pretty, like softer, almost like a slightly elegant vibe to it. It's really nice. It's not quite as, I guess, heavy or quintessentially pumpkin as Pumpkin Clove or Sweet Cinnamon Pumpkin, but still very much in that realm that if you enjoy quintessential pumpkin spice fragrances, but want something a little bit different, White Pumpkin is really nice. So that's that right there. Still really enjoying this one. I feel like this one's I'm kind of saving for later in the season. We then have Lavender Bergamot. This one I was just kind of mediocre with. It's a nice like bedroom lullaby sleep type of fragrance, and this one is bright lavender, bold bergamot zest, and warm tonka bean. Yeah, this one has a fishy lid on it, so it kind of interferes with it, but it's like a woodsy, nuzzly, like lavender fragrance. I did a full in-depth review on it. It's kind of like lavender vanilla, but a little bit more woodsy, and slightly more like neutral to masculine leaning than some of the lavender vanillas that I had in the past. It's just a very medium throw for me, so that was Lavender Bergamot right there. Very much a one and done on this one. We then have probably the strongest candle that I've burned so far, and that is Iced Dragonfruit Tea. This will scent up your room within like 10 minutes of lighting it. It's so strong. If you want a fruity summer drink fragrance, it's similar to like apparently the Mango Dragonfruit Refresher from Starbucks. You might enjoy this one. I like that the green tea lemonade gives it some of like a zing or a bite to it and tempers the super fruitiness that you would normally get from mango or dragon fruit, and it makes it like a very thirst quenching drink. It also kind of smells like bubblegum-ish at times, but it's super refreshing and super fruity and just super thirst quenching if you're looking for that during the summertime. This one's the strongest. I would say at least like a good 9, 8 to a 9. So that was Iced Dragonfruit Tea right there. We then have Pumpkin Spice Latte, which was kind of disappointing. Pumpkin Spice Fresh Espresso and Whipped Cream. This one was just a medium for me, but it smells very, very similar to Sweet Tiramisu. It's kind of like an implied coffee note with a lot of like a creamer or a whipped cream or like a heavy cream component to it with just a smidge of pumpkin spice. But it's not quite the Paris Cafe plus pumpkin fragrance that I was hoping for in a Pumpkin Spice Latte. So it was just mediocre for me. I enjoy the fragrance just by itself without the naming, but it's just like I have so many Sweet Tiramisus that I really don't need another one disguised as Pumpkin Spice Latte, that the name kind of sets me up for disappointment. But yeah, it performed medium. So Pumpkin Spice Latte right there. I think if you didn't have Sweet Tiramisu in your mind from before, you might still actually enjoy this one just as Pumpkin Spice Latte. And then we have Champagne Apple and Honey. This one was just a very light to a medium, light in an open concept area and medium in a bedroom. This is just a super fruity, juicy apple fragrance that gives a subtle sweetness from the honey and a little bit of like a drink sparkling effervescence from the champagne. This is Pink Lady Apple, Sparkling Champagne, and Jasmine Honey. It's actually quite fruity. You could get away with burning this in the fall time if you don't want a heavy like cinnamon spiced apple and just want a very fruity, juicy, bright apple, then you might enjoy this one. But it is lighter than most candles, so keep that in mind. So that's Champagne Apple and Honey right there. Lastly, of the ones that I picked up, I have Sweet Cinnamon Pumpkin. I was really looking forward to this. It's a great staple from like Slacken & Co. era from many years ago. This is Warm Cinnamon, Fresh Ground Clove, and Vanilla Cream. I'm still really enjoying it, but it is lighter. Sweet Cinnamon Pumpkin used to be very strong back in the day. And then like, at least for like the past like 3 or 4 years, I feel like it's been always watered down and I can barely smell it. This one is definitely light to a medium. Can't really smell it in an open concept area, but I can smell it to like a medium capacity in a bedroom. It's still performing fine though. This is another quintessential pumpkin spice fragrance. Very similar to Pumpkin Clove, but it just has a slightly more, I don't know, just different vibe to it. It kind of has like a, I don't know, like a gingery cream component to it. It's still delicious. It really kind of smells like a pumpkin pie. There's still even like a butteriness to it, but not as crusty as Pumpkin Vanilla Creme. They're all just very in the similar, like, you know, craft store category of pumpkin spice fragrances, this White Pumpkin and Pumpkin Clove. So if you want another quintessential pumpkin spice fragrance, you really can't go wrong with this one. And this one's just been around for a while that I really enjoy and have nostalgic vibes to it. So that was Sweet Cinnamon Pumpkin right there. And yeah, so then moving on to some of the online exclusives. Warm Apple Pie is online. Usually the red wax version does tend to perform better. Friggin' love this fragrance. I still have this one, so I don't plan on picking up this year's. But I think some of the reviews on the Bath & Body Works website were saying it is stronger, at least on this version, than maybe the 4th of July one was. So you might still try it. This is Baked Granny Smith Apple, Melted Brown Sugar, and Flaky Homemade Crust. Like, if this was in store, I would snatch it up in a moment. But I really don't want to pay shipping for it, so that's why I'm not getting it as an online exclusive. This version was strong, especially compared to some of the other versions that came previous to this in the white wax. But I've burned it now after having, held on to it for about 2 years. And it's nowhere near as strong as it was originally. So maybe if you still buy a new one when it's still fresh, then you might still enjoy the strength of it. But beyond that, oh my god, gorgeous fragrance. Literally smells just like an apple pie. You get the butteriness in there, you get the baking spice cinnamon in there, you get the crust in there, you get the warm apples in there. One of the best, it probably is the best warm apple pie fragrance on the market. If you're looking for an apple pie fragrance, then I would definitely check out the BBW version as the online exclusive. I don't know why this just isn't available in stores. Another one that came back is Banana Walnut Muffin. I love this one. I bought 2 of these last year. It's friggin' excellent. I would also highly recommend this one. Sweet Banana, Golden Nutmeg, and Cinnamon Sugar Muffin. Once again, if this was available in stores, I probably would have already bought it, but just hesitant to do the whole shipping thing online. Oh my god. Delicious, warm, like golden banana muffin, like baking in the oven. It kind of smells just like the Otis Spunkmeyer banana nut muffins that you get. Like, you open that bag and you smell it. There's like a warmth to it. You get the nuttiness from the walnut. You get a nice, warm, like cooking in the oven banana feel to it. It literally smells like banana walnut muffins baking in the oven. It's so inviting and so like welcoming. So if you want something when you have like guests over to emulate the feel of making something delicious for the fall time, this one you can really burn all year round too. And the throw was quite strong on it too. So this one I had nothing but good things to say about it. Both of them do start to get puny in the mid-range point, so keep that in mind. But I don't really know how the new one performs, but the fragrance alone is still excellent that I would highly recommend this. There's also a Almond Blossom that I was really hoping would make it into stores, but it did not. It's an online exclusive again, but I think it's probably the same as the almonds from the like Elements collection that we had before, which is also similar or the same as the Almond Blossom shower gel fragrance that we had. This is so strong and amazing. I freaking love this shower gel. I normally don't like almond fragrances, but this one's so strong that it lingers on your skin for hours. It's the most decadent and juicy, like almost sophisticated almond fragrance. You get that creamy, warm, nutty almond in there mixed with like a sophisticated, like I think this one says vanilla orchid. There's like a sandalwood, cashmere, musk component mixed with the vanilla in there that does make it a little bit perfumey. but it's still very like comforting and warm and like a sophisticated version of it, and I really enjoy it. I'm assuming the candle is the same as that, and if it is, then I would recommend it if any of that interests you. If that was in store, I would pick it up too. Another shout out to Pumpkin Pecan Waffles. This one I don't pick up just because I have old ones in my stash, but this one's always a tried and true favorite. The body care is out as well, so if you want like a matching combo experience of showering with maple syrup with the shower gel and want a slightly matching experience with the candle, this one's always super strong. It's just delicious and scrumptious. Don't burn this for more than 3 hours because it will become like sort of grody and scorched, but if you leave it at 3 hours, it's always a great warm, like iconic BBW bakery fragrance. You get that golden crisping brown waffle fragrance in there mixed with the brown sugar, a little bit of syrup, and then a little bit of like a nutty pumpkin spice component to it. Simply excellent. I really enjoy Pumpkin Pecan Waffles. And then in case you were still shopping for summer candles, this one can actually kind of be a transition from summer into fall because it has a lot of those like caramel warm gourmand fragrances. I do recommend Salted Pretzel Milkshake. I friggin' love this one. Tempted to pick up another one if I see this in store. This is creamy vanilla ice cream, salty pretzel bits, and gooey chocolate drizzle. This literally smells like a pretzel. You get the hard crispiness of the actual like pretzel in a bag, like a bag of Snyder's pretzel with those big like crystal salt chunks on it. It's excellent, but then it's mixed with heaps of like a caramel experience, so it has like a salted caramel vibe mixed with that same like salted caramel like cream component that you get from like Summer Boardwalk or salted caramel or salty caramel, and then a little bit of a hint of a chocolate cocoa experience just rounds it out, and it's just a delicious, awesome, just like, I don't know, extravagant, iconic BBW bakery fragrance. This one's not quite as strong as the original one, but I still enjoy it because it doesn't smell as burnt as the original one does. So I actually really enjoyed this one, and this one's kind of like that carnival fair type of like Summer Boardwalk transitional summer into fall fragrance, so highly recommend this one. I believe this one's $11.95 online today. And then kind of slept on, but still really enjoying it. I bought 2 of these, and it is Tea Rose right here. This one's super strong, so if you want a clean, strong like rose fragrance, I would highly recommend this one. Sweet pink rose petals, fresh white tea, and dewy greens. You get a like fragrant perfumey rose in there, but it's cut by more of a clean and crisp like white tea fragrance. So if you like white tea and ginger, I mix that with a floral rose note. I think you'll really enjoy this one. It's strong, it's beautiful. I really enjoy this one. I feel like it's kind of slept on because it's a rose fragrance, and I really don't know. I feel like rose is kind of going out of favor again, so this might be your last hurrah for a rose fragrance other than rose water and ivy, so check that out if that interests you. So that's Tea Rose right here. Nice, sophisticated, but still fresh, clean, slightly modern take on a rose, so really enjoying that one. Performs great and very strong. And I believe that is it. Yeah, hopefully this was helpful too. Just want to do a quick rundown of all the candles in case you didn't want to watch a full candle review on it, but I still kind of enjoy doing the individual candle reviews just to have like a visual encyclopedia or archive or like a reference library of all the candles that I've burned throughout my lifetime. So I might still continue doing individual reviews even on the ones that I talked about in here, but for those who don't want to sit through all that, then this video was hopefully helpful for you. Let me know what you plan on picking up, or if the $15.95 sale price point is just not it. Let me know down in the comments below, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.